Hi, I'm Emma Ryan and I'm going to take you through a short sequence of yoga for runners. If you wanted to find out more about how yoga can help you in your sport, then go to my website emmaryanyoga.com or my Facebook page Emma Ryan Yoga UK. So we're going to be using a block or a mat if you have one, ideally a yoga sticky mat rather than a padded sports mat, but it's fine for this session. If you don't have a block, then maybe a thick book or something just to use as a prop. And if you don't have a yoga strap, then maybe you've got a dressing gown cord or a belt or a towel. That will do just as well. So firstly, coming to sit, and if you find it difficult, maybe your hamstrings are really tight, you find it difficult to sit on the ground like so, but so that you can have a straight spine, use your prop to sit on, but rather than just sitting flat on it, you're going to bring your sitting bones to the edge, the bony bit of your bottom, just tip it over the edge, let your thighs relax, and you'll find that that helps you stay a little bit more upright through the spine, and you can almost feel that natural curve of your lower back. And then rest your hands on your thighs and just starting to pay attention to your breath. So as in running or any sport, yoga is led by the breath. So any of the poses, you'll hear me in the class that I'll call the inhale or the exhale. So I'm not calling all the breaths, I'm just bringing your attention. Well, this is Raffles, by the way. You like a yoga class, don't you? Back in your bed. So with the breath, you'll know that for running, if you're not in control of your breath and you tend to be more of a top of the chest breather, then you're going to start to pant, you're going to run out of breath quite quickly. So we're going to practice, just a short practice on bringing the breath deep into your belly, and this is going to help you in your running as well. So the idea being that this is called Pranayama or breath work. So prana in Sanskrit is your life force or your breath, and yama is to control. So closing your eyes so you can bring your focus to your breath. Rest your hands on your thighs, sit nice and tall. Use your core here, so you want to lift your chest up, bring your navel to your spine a little bit more so you're more upright, and then relax your shoulders, slide your shoulders down your back. And take one nice deep inhale, and exhale completely. And then continuing the breath, so you're trying to lengthen the breath, so maybe breathing in for the count of 4, and then exhale for the count of 6. And you can bring one hand to your belly and one to your chest, so that you feel as if you didn't have lungs, like the breath is going straight down into the belly, swelling the belly, pressing that hand out on the inhale, and then you feel the side ribs spreading, lifting that breath up to the top of the chest. And then on the exhale, the chest is sinking down, the navel moving towards the spine as you use your diaphragm to get the last of that breath out. And just a couple more cycles. Okay, and then lowering your head, releasing your hands to your lap, blinking your eyes open. And then firstly bringing the soles of your feet towards each other. So this is Vadakanasana, butterfly pose. So hold on to your ankles. You can stay on your block. You might even want to prop yourself up a little bit higher if your knees are like crickets, they go up a bit too high. But just trying to stretch out through the inner thighs a little, helping to release through the hips. So press your hips towards your heels. Feel that inner thigh stretch, lift your chest up, shoulder blades down your back, and then squeeze your glute medius, so your outer hips, you want to squeeze your glutes and feel how that then then starts to pull your knees out a little bit further. And then exhale, release, bring your hands to the outside of your thighs, bring your thighs inwards, come onto your knees, remove your block. So now take your knees wide, toes touching, sit back towards your heels. This is called child's pose, Balasana. So this is a resting pose. If you feel that during yoga it's all getting a bit much, you can take a break, and this is a good pose to do that. But keeping the arms active, so you're going to rest your forehead on the mat, push your palms away from you, but also pressing them down into the mat so you can feel your hips coming towards your heels. If you feel your head is hanging in the middle of nowhere, you can rest your forehead on the mat. On the block. Otherwise, taking this pose, and then as you push the palms away from you, feel that stretch through your spine and the tops of your thighs, and then inhale, coming forward, and we're going to stand at the front of the mat. I'm going to take you through Sun Salute, Surya Namaskar, and it's Sun Salute A, so the first level. And this is like a mini circuit that you can do, and it warms up all the major muscle groups and joints. So even if in the morning you want to do a bit of yoga and you couldn't remember what to do, if you learn this sequence, then you can just do 3 or 4 of these and you're all set. So feet hip distance apart, and standing in mountain Tadasana. So this means not your normal, just uncontrolled alignment. So it's fully engaged through the body. That means lifting your toes, spreading them, placing them down. So feeling all 4 corners of the feet pressing into the earth. Feel that energy lift. So your kneecaps lift, your thighs engage. Lift up through your pelvic floor. That's called a bandha, or a lock within the body in yoga. So that's called your mula bandha, your reach lock. Bring your navel towards your spine. That's through your solar plexus, your uddiyana bandha. And now reach your fingertips towards the earth, gaze forward, shoulders away from ears. And inhale, lift your arms up. And reach the fingers up. Lean back slightly. And now you're going to exhale, tip your tailbone back. So you're going to tip the tailbone as you bring the arms forward. So the front of the pelvis comes forward. Feel that stretch up through the back of the thighs. Reaching forward into a forward fold. And if you can't get your palms down or even your fingertips down, just bend your knees slightly, relax your arms, hold onto your elbows. Just trying to keep lifting your hips up as high as you can. You'll feel the backs of the thighs, how lovely that is to stretch them. Then inhale to halfway lift. That means coming to a flat back, so you're straightening through the thighs, press your palms into your shins, extend your chest forward, and shoulder blades sliding towards your waist, so trying to get to a flat back. Feel your core here, the gaze is down. Exhale, bend your knees, put your palms down to the mat, step back, roll forward into plank. So you're going to press up through your palms, make sure the fingers are spread, the index finger pointing directly ahead, that keeps your wrists safe. You can drop your knees at this point, maybe for this first one. Roll the eye of your elbow forward, so this enables you to then bend your elbows beside your rib cage. Squash rattles. Flatten your feet, come up into cobra. So you're pressing the tops of the feet into the mat, press your pubic bone in, so your kneecaps are lifting, lift your chest. So bringing your shoulder blades your elbows towards your waist. And then exhale, lowering down, tucking your toes under, lifting the hips up, coming into downward facing dog. So here, this is a lovely stretch through the back body, so you want to press through your palms, lift your hips as high as you can. You can come up onto your toes, bend your knees, feel that stretch up through the spine, and then start to descend the heels, press the thigh bones back. Then inhale, up on your toes, bend your knees, look forward, walk forward, and we're going back up the other way. So come into halfway lift, extending the spine, gaze gazes down. Exhale, folding forward or holding onto your elbows. And lift up through the thighs, release the arms down. Use your core here, reach the arms up. Palms together. Exhale, your hands to heart center. You can do one more a little bit faster. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, palms down. Step back, roll into plank. If you can stay with the kneecaps lifted, or the knees lifted. Roll the eye and the elbow forward, bring the chest forward, you come onto your tippy toes, bend at the elbows. This pose is called Chaturanga, low press up. Then lowering to the mat, inhale to Cobra. Engage through the legs, tops of the feet pressing down, shoulder blades sliding down your back. Inhale, lowering down, tuck the toes under, coming up into down dog. Take 3 breaths here, so bringing that breath deep into the belly. You can stay with your knees bent and up on your toes if that helps. Release the hamstrings a little. And then inhale up on your toes, bend your knees, look forward. Come forward to halfway lift, extend the spine, lift the tailbone up. Exhale, fold. And inhale, lifting up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bend your knees, fingertips down. Take the left foot back. Bring your fingertips so they're in line with the front toes. Runner's lunge. So lift up through the back thigh. Squeeze the thighs to the midline, so hugging them into the center. Reach the chest forward. So really feel that activation through the thighs. And try not to sink onto that front thigh. Keep the chest lifted. Squeeze your core. And then on the exhale, you're going to drop the back knee, but keep it way behind the hip. Flatten the back foot, coming up onto the front thigh. So here, not just resting on it, just stroke it forward there, because as that forward action and you start to really sink the hips down, you'll really feel the psoas muscle here, the largest of the hip flexors, so really helping to open out through the hips. Shoulders are relaxed. And then inhale, lift your left arm up and reach it over to the right. So stretching up out of the left side of the body. So really feeling here, there's a little muscle called the TFL, tensor fasciae lata, that really grips onto the top of the thigh there. So we're helping to release here. Inhale and then exhale. Bring your fingertips down. Tuck the back toe under. You're going to come up into a high lunge. So coming up, making sure now the right knee stays directly above the right ankle. Hips face to the front so you're not twisting to the side. And then squeeze the thighs to the midline. Lift your arms up. If you can, you'll lean back slightly, look up. Keep lifting through the back thigh. And then exhale, bring your left palm down below the left shoulder on the inside of the right foot. Straight arm, lift up through the back thigh, and you're going to revolve. Reach the top arm up. So keep the chest long, thighs squeezing towards each other, revolving to look up. So bring the shoulder blades towards each other so you're opening through the collarbone. And then exhale. Palms down, drop that back knee again, and take the hips back, wiggle your right foot forward, and you might want your prop at this point, bring it on the inside of the right foot. So you're going to wiggle the right foot forward, and then point the toe and flex. So as you flex, bring the toes back in the direction of the shin. You can keep the back toes tucked under to give you a bit of stability, or you can flatten and you might want to pad your knee. But this here, now you're trying to level the hips, so not opening to the side, you're trying to square the hips to the front of the mat. So try and drag that heel with a straight leg, that energy back towards the hip. So stretching out through the back of that leg. If you want to use the block to help reach the chest a bit more forward, or if you're a little bit more flexible, keep that right thigh bone coming up into this hip socket. You can fold towards that leg. Lovely stretch with the back of that front straight leg there. Okay, bend, palms down, step back, lift that leg up behind you. Place the feet back down in down dog. And then inhale, lift the left leg up behind you, roll into plank. Left knee to nose, and then place the left foot between your hands. Come into a runner's lunge, left side. Squeeze the thighs to the midline. Bend through that left knee, keeping the knee above the ankle. Up on your fingertips, stay light through the chest, so you're lifting up through the arms, the core is strong. Lift up through the back thigh, reach the chest forward. So you're coiled, you're about to launch when that gun goes off. And then exhale, drop the back knee way behind the hip, flatten the foot, and then come up onto the front thigh, and then guide that thigh forward, feel the stretch through the front of the right thigh. Sink the hips, keep the chest lifted, and even in this position, it's almost like you're tucking your tailbone under. And then inhale, your right arm up, and lean over to the left. Feel that stretch lifting up out of the right hip, your TFL. And then exhale, tuck your back toes under. You're going to come up into the high lunge, lifting up through the back thigh, sink through the left knee, bring your arms up, shoulders away from ears, lean back slightly, look up, now strong through the back thigh, and squeeze the legs to the inner line to give you a bit of stability. Now exhale, bring the right palm down under the right shoulder, inside the left foot there, and you'll start to revolve. So reaching the chest forward and then start to revolve up. Lift the top arm up, squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other, squeeze the thighs to the midline. So really trying to revolve through the rib cage, so bringing the right side of the ribs as close to the thigh as you can. Inhale, bring the palms back down. Drop the back knee, and then you're going to wiggle forward the left foot. Then flex the left toes back, bring your hips back a little so your hips are above the right knee. Use the block again if you need to. And then leveling the hips, so bringing that left thigh bone up into the hip socket and then reaching the chest forward. Okay, then walk the hands forward with all the left foot back, lifted up behind you. Come into down dog, and then drop the knees for a little bit of core work. So core we know is important for running, and openness through the hips. So you want to get balance through the glutes and the hips so that you can have an even stride. So it all helps with your efficiency and gives you more power. So working through the core here, so we've been opening through the hips, working through the core. So we're starting tabletop. You're going to take the right leg back and the left arm forward. So push through the heel, flex the right toes down, press up through the right palm. tabletop. Take the left leg back, flex at the ankle, right arm forward. Keep the breath coming in nice and deep. Change, other side again, right leg back, left arm forward. And change, left leg back, right arm forward. Keep pressing up through the left palm, core is strong. And then palms down. Now you can stay in tabletop to do this next one, or if you want to take it a bit deeper, you're lifting up into down dog. So from down dog, pressing through the palms, making sure fingertips spread, all the knuckles are pressing in as much as the palm, and then you're going to lift the right leg up behind you. Roll forward into plank, right knee to nose, so hug it in. So knee to nose, squeeze the heel up towards your buttocks, rounding out through the shoulder blades, and then take that leg back up. Try to descend the left heel, you'll feel that stretch in your left calf. Then roll forward and take the right knee to the left elbow. Press up through the palms, push out between the shoulder blades, hug it in, and then take it back. Roll forward, right knee to right elbow. Keep that heel lifted, keep that plank line, and then lift the right leg up behind you, place the right foot next to the left. Take a pause, 2 breaths in down dog. Then inhale, left leg up behind you. Roll forward into plank, knee to nose. Squeeze the heel up towards the buttock. Exhale, take the leg back up behind you. Inhale, roll forward into plank, left knee to right elbow. Squeeze the heel up. And then take the leg back up. Roll forward into plank, left knee to left elbow. And take it back up. Come back into down dog. Take a moment here, not forgetting if you've got pain in your wrists or you're finding it a little bit of a struggle, you can come into child's pose. You can just give the wrists a bit of a shake. So we're meant to be working the muscles, but we don't want to be putting any pain through the joints that isn't good, so be aware of your own body. So lifting back up into down dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up behind you and bring the right, roll into plank, right knee lifted, and then place the right foot on the outside of the right hand. So we're coming into lizard pose. Okay, like so. So firstly, the toes are going to point directly forward. Hug the knee into the shoulder, press the arm into the knee, so you feel that connection between the two. Then turn the right toes out, let the thigh roll out in the direction of the feet. Keep the back thigh lifted, and then roll onto the outer edge of the right foot. Keep the chest reaching forward. And if you need to, you can drop the back knee. Flatten the foot, but keeping on the outer edge of that right foot, and then if that feels okay, you might want to deepen it, come a bit lower. You can bring your forearms to the block, or even come down to the mat, but only come down onto the mat if you can get both forearms onto the mat, and then reach your chest forward, allow that hip to open. You're still rolling onto the outer edge of the right foot. And then tuck the back toes under, palms down. So this is one of those poses, lizard, you can stay in for ages. You could be reading a book or on your iPad or whatever, but it's a good one to just settle into if you can bear it. You don't want to punch someone. Okay, lift the right leg up behind you. place the foot down, down dog for a moment. Then inhale, lift the left leg up, roll forward into plank, bring the knee up high, place the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Firstly, toes point forward, lift through the back thigh, squeeze the knee and the shoulder into each other, get that activation, and then turn the left toes out, allow the knee, the thigh to travel in that direction, roll onto the outside of the foot. And then again you can come down if you want to, and if you need to, bring the back knee down. Make sure there's no awkward angles here, so if this doesn't feel good, stay up higher, but also make sure the thigh is in the direction of the foot to keep the knees safe. Okay, and then inhaling, coming up, palms down, tuck the right toes under, lift the hips up, lift the left leg up behind you, give it a shake, feet down, and then come to sit. And get your belt, whatever you have. And lie back, and we're going to stretch through the hamstrings. So keep your knees bent with your feet on the mat. And take your strap, lift your right leg. Actually, I'll do the left leg so you can see. So placing the strap around the ball of the foot, not the instep. Around the ball of the foot. Straighten your leg. Take the strap in the same hand as the leg, and then flex. So you want to push through the heel and the ball of the foot. So you're flexing the heel, but you've got this activation as if you're stamping onto the ground. And then bring, so not dragging too hard with the arm, but bringing the foot towards your head. So you're feeling that stretch through the back of the leg. You might even feel you can't get to a straight leg and you've got the old tremble going on. That is working the muscle, but you might want to loosen the strap off a little. Just trying to give a bit of space. But if you feel it's working. And then you can do that as long as you feel is good. If you want to deepen it a little, you'll straighten the right leg. So keep the right leg active, flex the foot, press the back of the thigh towards the mat. And then push up through the heel. Now we're going to take the leg out to the side, so stretching through the inner thigh. Bring your right hand to your right thigh. Turn the toes out slightly, it's helping to open through the hip here. And then you might want to slide your hand back up the strap as the foot comes wide. So trying to keep the foot towards your head, but bringing the leg out to the side, to wherever you feel is good. And you can look over in the opposite direction. The hand on the right thigh is to anchor you down a little bit more. And then use the inner thigh. Inhale, lift up, take the strap in the right hand, bring the foot towards your head again a little bit more, take your left hand, your left arm out to your side, and take the right foot across. But you don't want to roll over onto the hip, so you want to keep onto the right hip. So you want to keep both buttocks on the mat, but take the leg over, so it might only go a few inches past the side of your mat. And that's because as soon as you roll over, we're then using a different muscle. So we're trying to stretch into so the hamstrings are divided into three. So we've done the inner, we did the middle, and now we're doing the outer muscle. So keep bringing it towards your head, straight leg, but letting it go to the side a little, and then bring back to centre. Bend your knee, release, change legs. Again, push through the ball and the heel of the foot. Take the strap in your right hand, straighten the left leg. If that feels good, keeping that left leg active. Bring the foot towards your head. So really trying to keep active. So muscles work in pairs. So if you activate one, it helps release the other. So it's almost like that feeling of tightening through the quad, even though you can almost unconsciously not really feel it in this position, but helping to release the hamstring. And then take left hand to the top of the left thigh to anchor the hips down. Turn the toes out slightly so you can open through that hip. Let the strap slide through your fingers and take the foot out. Trying to keep the foot as near to your head as possible. And then lowering, looking over to the left. Keep this left leg active. Did I say left or right? And then inhale, right leg up. And then swap hands. Left hand takes the strap, right hand goes out to the side. And then just bringing the foot towards your head again and reaching the leg over, just stretching the outside of the thigh. And inhale, back up, bend the knee, release. Take your feet so feet on the ground, knees bent, and you want to bring your heels back to where you can touch them with your fingertips or almost touch. And you might even want your prop or something, even a cushion between your knees. It just helps stop your thighs, because sometimes when we use our glutes, they externally rotate the thighs. So trying to squeeze the block, press your palms and your forearms into the mat. Inhale, press your lower back into the mat. That activates your core muscles, lift your hips, coming into bridge pose. So squeeze the block, dig your heels in. You'll feel the soft activation of the hamstrings and the glutes, so don't clench too hard. It's just soft, lifting the hips up. Don't move your head once you're in this position. And then exhale, lower down, vertebrae by vertebrae, hips coming last. And we're going to do that again, but this time we're going to work through the glutes individually. So we're going to lift one leg, but that's why we've got the block here, because you want to keep the thighs parallel. So inhale, press the lower back in, lift the hips, press the forearms and the palms down, and then lift your right leg. But you want your hips to try and be level, the thighs are at the same height. Press through the whole of the left foot, lifting up, and then bend the right knee, place the foot down, lower down on the exhale slowly. Take a breath, and then the other side. Inhale, lower back presses in, lift the hips up, lift the left thigh. So press into the block, squeeze through almost feel your outer hips having to activate. Feel those glutes, are they trembling? And then exhale, place the foot down, lower the hips, release the block. Hug your knees in and just rock there a little, massaging the lower spine. And then cross at the ankles, hold onto your knees, hug them into your chest. We're going to do a few spinal rolls, backwards and forwards, and come up to sitting. So this is your core, but you're going to try and roll right up to your shoulders. So rolling, keep the core tight. Feels nice. And then come to sit. And face me. So sitting up nice and tall. Shoulder blades sliding down your back. Rest your hands on your thighs. Close your eyes, tilt your chin down. Inhaling deeply, exhaling completely. Bring your palms together at your heart center, lowering your head and opening your eyes. And then we say Namaste, and that means the light in me sees the light in you, or have a lovely day. Thank you.